What's going on, guys? Most Vaughn here, back with another video. And in this video, we're going to be playing some Elder Scrolls Online. Well, not really playing, it's just going to be me doing a build video on my build. You know, the build that I use for VMA and then just to solo dungeons and open world stuff. So hopefully you guys enjoy. If you do, please be sure to give it a like and subscribe if you're new to the channel or you've been here for a while. And turn on notification bell to stay up to date for when I upload. So let's just go ahead and get started. First things first, as I have all 64 attribute points into Magicka, my maximum Magicka. Oh no, wait, I'm on my back bar, sorry. Alright, so maximum Magicka 38,613, spell damage 3,397, spell critical 56.4%, spell penetration 7,274. Here's the advanced stats if you guys care about that stuff. I am using the Shadow Mundstone, increases your critical damage by 17%. So for the gear, we're going to be running 5-piece Mother Sorrow with the weapon, Inferno Staff, Mother Sorrow weapon, and then the jewelry is going to be Mother Sorrow. And then we're also going to be using a 5-piece Burning Spell Weave on the chest, shoulders, waist, hand, legs, feet. And we're going to be 1-piece Slime Crawl just for the critical chance. And then right here is Ring of the Pale Order. So I guess just to go deeper into the build, you have the staff with precise, the Maelstrom lightning staff. You can use a lightning staff or inferno staff, it doesn't really matter. I just prefer the lightning staff because the heavy attacks are faster than the inferno staffs, and it does a AoE damage when you're finished a heavy charged attack. And then Slime Claw for the crit with Divines, Max Magicka, Burning Spell Weave chest piece, Divines, and maximum Magicka enchants on all the gear. And then for the jewelry, spell damage enchants, and then Bloodthirsty. I don't have Bloodthirsty researched on the necklace, that's why Arcane is right there. And I don't have the resources to really upgrade these to purple. So if you have the resources, you definitely want to get these, the jewelry, to purple. And then if you have the Bloodthirsty trait researched on your necklace, you're going to want that. And so yeah, also running Ring of the Pale Orders, really good for heals. Sorcerers already have decent healing from critical surge, because every time you crit, you heal. But Ring of Pale Order just makes it better. But if you don't have Ring of Pale Order, you can just, you know, another Mother Sorrow's ring. Make sure Bloodthirsty's on there. I don't have a road on there because I mostly use Ring of the Pale Order. And then for the monster set, one you can use is this, which is Ice Heart, which gives you a shield. When you deal critical damage, you have a 20% chance to gain a damage shield. So yeah, that's good for solo. Yeah, here it is. It's a DLC set, Zons. It gives you spell critical, and when you deal damage to an enemy with a light or heavy attack, 33% chance to create a beam of fire that connects to you and the enemy, as long as you're within 8 meters of them. Deals flame damage every 1 second for 6 seconds, and increases the damage every second by 100%. Occurs every 18 seconds, scales off your spell damage. Move on to the skills. Skills, you can really use wherever you want. We can start with the back bar. Here I have Critical Surge. Gives you Major Brutality. Sorcery increases your weapon damage by 20% for 33 seconds. And also while active, it heals you for 3,300 health for every second once you do critical damage. Boundless Storm, you know, it gives you movement speed for the first few seconds, and it just gives you Major Resolve, increases your physical and spell resistance, and it also does a little bit of damage when enemies are around you. Hardened Ward for a shield. You know, shields are really good. It heals you when you take damage from, when the shield takes damage, it heals you. Elemental Drain. I use this mostly to get for the minor Magicka steal. You know, every time you damage an enemy, you restore a certain amount of Magicka, and it lasts a decent while. It also reduces their protection, so that's good. And of course, if you're going to be running the Maelstrom staff on the back bar, you're going to want to run Elemental Wall, Unstable Wall of Storms, excuse me. And then deals shock damage over time for a few seconds and causes off balance. And then explodes after when the duration's done. Actually, ultimate is just personal preference, really. It doesn't matter. You can use this, or this. Shooting Star, Elemental Rage, or Greater Storm Atronach. It's really up to you, whatever you want to use. Me personally, I just like to use this mostly because it gives decent AoE damage and has a pretty long cast time. Shooting Star, yeah, I just have that there. That's something you can use if you want. And while we're talking about Shooting Star on the front bar, let's just work our way towards the left, and I have Bound Aegis and Inner Light. I have these two on there just for the maximum Magicka. Yep. Bound Aegis gives you 8% max Magicka and gain minor resolve, which increases your physical and spell resistance by a certain amount. Inner Light, no one slotted, it increases your max Magicka by 5% and it gives you spell critical. And Force Pulse from the Destruction Staff tree. You know, this is a spammable for when you cast Crystal Frags. You can tell when Crystal Frags will show up, your hands will glow, and you can kind of hear a sound cue. You know, you just constantly use your spammable, which is Force Pulse, and then once you see your hands kind of glow and get that audio cue, you just use this. And Mage's Wrath, for when they get below 20%, this will be the spammable that you'll use just for the extra damage. So you just spam this, get the Crystal Frags, and then just use that. Champion points, that's important. We'll start with this tree. You can use put points in whatever you want. Me personally, I just have Steve's Blessing, more movement speed out of combat. Will say one that's important and a must-have is Rationer. Adds 10 minutes to the duration of any food or drink that increases your character's stats per stage. This is a must-have because the longer your food's up, the more stats you have. And then the rest is just personal preference. Oh wait, Steve Fast Enchant. Your weapon enchants have a 10% chance not to consume a charge when activated. You know, this is pretty good one to have for your weapon enchants. You know, they won't be used up as often with this. And then the rest, yeah, it's just personal preference. I have this, and this. And if we move on to the next tree, here I have this one, Eldritch Insight, you know, max Magicka. The more Magicka, the better. Here I also have Arcane Supremacy, more Magicka, the better. Here I have Precision maxed out for the crit chance. I'm currently focusing on maxing this one out for the crit damage. So yeah, and here I have 20 in the piercing, which just grants offensive penetration, which is good. And here I have Deadly Aim maxed out, increases your damage on the single target attacks, and Master of Arms. Really? For these two, well, I guess, yeah, these will be good because sorcerers are my build for my mag sorc is single target damage from Force Pulse and Crystal Frags. So that's really why I have these maxed out. And, you know, these max out because the more Magicka the better, and crit chance and crit damage is just really good. And then for this tree, I have Rejuvenation maxed out, more Magicka, stamina, health recovery the better. Have Boundless Vitality maxed out, more health the better, stay alive longer. And I have this just for the armor, which is okay. And here, I'm gonna be dodge rolling a lot. Basically, I just put the bare minimum in these just so I can unlock siphoning spells. Restores Magicka whenever I kill an enemy. I have this maxed out, so every time I kill an enemy, I get 1500 Magicka. And then Hero's Vigor max out, more health the better. I guess once the next thing I will probably work on is this, because since I'm solo, I do dodge roll a lot sometimes, so I guess no, the less stamina it costs to dodge roll, the more stamina I'll have. So yeah. So those are my champion points. You might have not as many champion points as I do. I have right now I'm at 691. You might have less than that, you might have more, so you can customize. If you have more than me, you can obviously have more champion points into whatever you want. But if you have less champion points than I do, I say the most important ones in each tree, this is just my personal preference, is probably Rationer, max this out, or just try to get to it as soon as possible, then max it out, and also max that one out. I guess for this one, I personally think you should max out the Magicka ones first as soon as possible, then move on with crit chance, crit damage, then just go ahead and get piercing, and then just work on deadly aim and master of arms, or whichever ones you want to use up here. That's just my personal preference. Then yeah, same here. You would probably want to max this one out to get your resources recovery higher, then max out that. Then probably just work your way up to siphoning spells if you don't have a lot of champion points. Food and potions, you cannot forget about food and potions. If you can make this Clockwork Citrus Fillet, it increases your max health and health recovery by a certain amount, and Magicka and magic recovery by a certain amount. If you can get this, then that's also good, but if you can't, I use this Witchmother's Potent Brew. Increases your max Magicka and health and increases max Magicka recovery. Since I really can't craft the clockwork food, I usually just use this potion or drink instead, rather. Or you can use this, the eyeball food, and increases your max Magicka and Magicka recovery. Alright, and for potions, what you want to use for Magicka DPS mostly is Essence of Spell Powers, and to make that you would need this one, and you would need, I believe, this one. Essence of Spell Power grants you Major Sorcery, Major Prophecy, and Major Intellect. So really for a Magicka Sorcerer, you really don't need Essence of Spell Power, because Major Sorcery and Major Prophecy you get from Critical Surge. Major Brutality, Major Sorcery increases your weapon and skill damage by 20%. So yeah, you really don't need to use the Essence of Spell Power. You can just use the regular, let me see where they are, the regular Essence of Magicka, because it still restores Magicka and gives you Major Intellect. And that's just personal preference. You can, if you want, you can use the Essence of Spell Power potions. And then maybe if you want, for whatever reason, if you are running Ring of Pale Order, you can just swap that out for something else. So like, that's just really if you want to or not. Alright, so here I am just at a random world boss. I want to show off the rotation of the build and also an important mechanic when dealing damage in this game, no matter what class you are, whether you're a DPS, tank, or healer, or stamina DPS or Magicka DPS. So activate Critical Surge, Downward Storm, Elements of Weakness, shield, light attack, and I put down wall of elements. And then I just switch to front bar and just use the spammable until I get that crystal frags prop that you just saw. There's the crystal frags right there. You can see there's rocks swarming around my hands and they kind of glow. You just light attack and you just go ahead and use it. And also light attacking. That's really important. Light attacking in between every attack is really important. It's called light attack weaving in this game that I believe. It's a random dub right there. Just kind of ignore him. So yeah, light attack weaving. You just want to light attack in between every single attack that you do. You see my buffs start starting to go down, switch to the back bar. You can also light attack in between all abilities. You just come back to the front bar and do that. The reason you light attack is because it helps you gain resources and also it helps you get 3 ultimate every second for a few seconds. As you can see, I just kind of put down my ult and you can see I'm getting 3 ultimate down. That really wasn't a good example because of that dub was right there, but yeah. Anyways, you just want to make sure you light attack before you use any ability, because the full light attack animation is pretty long, as you can see. So you just kind of do that. Alright, so here, if you see, I hit that ad with my force pulse and my ultimate isn't generating. But if I hit him with a light attack, my ultimate is generating by 3 every second. As you can see, I almost have my ult back again, just from that one light attack. So if I hit him with a light attack, I get 3 ultimates, and then I have my shooting star again. And that's why you want to make sure you light attack in between your abilities, because you gain ultimate for it. So that was just a quick example of the rotation of the build and just the importance of light attacking in between every ability use. Alright, so just a real quick overview. I think I pretty much covered everything. So just as a quick rundown, 5-piece Mother Sorrow, 5-piece Burning Spell Weave, and then the perfected Maelstrom Trap. If you really can't get the perfected, it's okay. Just go ahead and just do regular Maelstrom Arena just to try and get the Inferno staff or the Lightning staff or the Ice staff for whatever reason if you want to use that. 1-piece Slime Crawl. Also, yeah, 1-piece monster set because I am using Ring of the Pale Order. If you don't have Ring of the Pale Order, you can run Zons. That's a good monster set to use. Or you can use Ice Heart, which gives you a damage shield whenever you do critical damage. And that's pretty much it for the gear. And then just a quick rundown of the skill. Mage's Wrath, when they're at 20% health, this isn't executed, does more damage. And then this is your main spammable force pulse until you get the enemy or boss to 20%. Spam this. You spam this until you get the crystal's frag proc. As soon as you get the crystal frag proc, just go ahead and pop that. And then just back to the spammables. These two you get are basically slotted for maximum magicka, because more magicka the better. But this one, Inner Light, also gives you spell critical rating. Right now I'm getting 26, 29. And then ultimates just really doesn't matter. That's personal preference. You can use whatever ultimate you want. Back bar, critical surge. Since I am using critical surge, I'm not using essence of spell power potions. You can just use essence of magic potions. Boundless Storm, you gain a little bit of movement speed for the first few activation seconds. Hardened Ward, Elemental Drain. You get minor magic lifesteal and also reduces their protection. And Unstable Wall of Elements. If you're running the Maelstrom staff on the back bar, increases your light attack damage when they're inside the Wall of Elements. Probably something I should explain earlier, but yeah, basically put this down while the enemies are inside the Wall of Elements. Your light attacks deal increased damage. And then champion points. Quick rundown. This is what I have. That's maxed out. That's maxed out. And this is maxed out. Everything else is just personal preference. Maximum Magicka. Crit chance. Crit damage. Piercing. Deadly aim maxed out. Master at arms maxed out. Here, rejuvenation. Increase Magicka health stamina recovery. More health. More armor. Then here I have bare minimum just to get to Hero's Vigor and siphoning spells. And then food. Food. Witch Potence Brew. If you have Clockwork Citrus, you can use that, but if you don't, or just can't really afford it, you can use this. Alright, so yeah, that was just a little quick overview of my build. It's not the best. I know it can be better, but this is just what I've been able to come up with. Hopefully I did well explaining the build, the skills that I use, and the champion points. I know I could have gone into more detail, but you know, this is my first build video, so yeah. If I did okay, or if there's anything I missed or something better I could have did, let me know in the comment section down below. So yeah, that's it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like. If you're new to the channel or you've been here for a while, hit the subscribe button. If you want to know when I upload again, just turn on the notification bell. And as usual, until next time.